Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to some more Pokemon action. I'm your host Ryan, and today we're doing something a little bit different. I got tagged in this My Pokemon team tag by the lovely Miss Fushi, which was awesome, and I wanted to do it. So this was created by HoodlumScrafty, and it's for pretty simple questions, except for the last one, and it's about what your Pokemon team would be if you were, I guess, in the game. So the first question is, what trainer class would you be? And I put a lot of thought into this one. I wasn't really sure what to go with. I was like, okay, well, I could go with expert or ace trainer because I've been playing for a really long time, and but I was just like, I don't want to stroke the ego there a little bit. I'd rather pick something that either like suits the personality or the team that I'm trying to build. So I ended up going with Psychic, and it's a weird choice because, truthfully, Psychic is probably one of my least favorite typings in the game, but I mean, I really like the design of the character. He seems really chill, and I like being chill. That's what I aim for. I like to be as calm as possible, and he seems really in the zone. And on top of that, the team that I'm going to be building is going to be two-part. It's going to be composed of Pokemon that mean something to me in some way, shape, or form, but also that sort of also represent my time on YouTube, which, if you follow me for a while, you'll know that I am a huge advocate of Trick Room. And Trick Room is my favorite. So I figured not only do I think that the Psychic works well with my personality, I think it works well with the type of team that I'm going to be trying to build. Also, like, those questions like, if you ever got a superpower, what would it be? I always think really hard about that, but it always goes down to I want telekinesis because I am a lazy son of a gun, and telekinesis is super cool. But the second question is, how many Pokemon would you have? And everyone's basically choosing 6, and really I don't see why you wouldn't choose 6. So I am going to be choosing 6. And the third question is why, and again, because it's like, why don't you want a full team? I don't understand. I mean, I guess if you want to like kind of gate yourself and make it a little bit more challenging to only choose like 4 or maybe 2 or maybe even only 1, then I can understand. But I don't know. I want a full team. So the fourth question and final question, the only hard question of the entire video, is what Pokemon are on your team? Now, I spent maybe about 20-30 minutes last night actually trying to figure this one out because I really like these kinds of videos. I think they're pretty interesting. They give you a little insight into how a person thinks, a little bit into their personality, and I really enjoy these kinds of videos because I just find them pretty interesting. So, I mean, I think the first 2 ones are going to be pretty obvious. We're going to talk them over, though, because I want to. So my number 1 is Gengar. Gengar is my favorite Pokemon. Now, why is Gengar my favorite Pokemon? I have literally no idea. I can guess that it has to do with when I was a kid, I'd watch the Pokemon anime, and there's just that one scene in the Pokemon anime that it's Gengar, Haunter, and Ghastly, and they're all watching like basically like I guess like the Three Stooges kind of slapstick comedy kind of thing, and they're all like cracking up and having a great time, and I think that's why I like him. But he's the only Pokemon that I actually have the most merch out of. I have 3 different things. I've got the Gengar. I've got a Gengar figure, like the original Gengar figure. I've got a Gengar plush, and I've got a few Gengar keychains. And I don't know. I just really like him a lot. I mean, you can tell that because he's the most commissioned character that I have. I have a picture of him from Shizuka, which I use in my channel art and stuff like that because I just absolutely adore that. And then I have a Haunter from Kuro Ryushin, I think that's how you pronounce your name, which, believe it or not, is if I ever get a tattoo, that's what I'm going to get a tattoo of. So there's just some sort of connection with Gengar. My first ever online Pokemon username was Haunter Shadow 92. So it's like I just have some sort of connection with Gengar. I don't really remember why I like Gengar so much, but I just do. So Gengar is going to be on my team. The second one's going to be Shuckle. And as much of why do I like Gengar is Shuckle's even more of an enigma. I have no idea why I like Shuckle so much. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I mean, there are some connections. You know, I used Shuckle in basically the first few videos on my channel, and it's kind of like become a recurring thing. Like whenever I feel like refreshing something, I'll make a Shuckle team, and we'll bring the Shuckle team, and then from there we have like a new season of like Pokemon battles and stuff. So I don't know, he's just there, and I guess like Gengar's there because I like the design the most, but Shuckle's there because I think he represents me the most. He's slow, he's got a shell to hide in, but he's super sturdy. I don't know, that makes no sense, but I don't know, I really like Shuckle, I really do. I wish he was a little bit better because I would love to use him in on a team, like actually competitively, but he's kind of hard to use, and that's a little unfortunate. So he's like my non-competitive favorite, whereas Gengar is my competitive favorite. But yeah, so that's my top two, Gengar and Shuckle. Moving on, we've got Smeargle. Now Smeargle has so many ties to my Pokemon past. Back in high school, I was really into Diamond and Pearl, and that's actually where I started competitive battling in. And Smeargle holds a special place in my heart because I was very rebellious as a teenager, and I didn't like the norms. I was very edgy, so I was like, you know what, screw you guys, I'm doing a mono-normal team. I don't care about competitive. I'm gonna screw Smogon. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I ran like a mono-normal for the majority of Diamond and Pearl and Platinum. And Smeargle was my go-to lead, and just like the creativity just flows through the Smeargle. Like you can do whatever you want with Smeargle, which is great because, like, you know, a lot of people just go straight for the Dark Void, but I was just like, nah, that's not what we're doing. We're gonna get some King Shield. We're gonna go for some Parting Shot. We're gonna do this and that, and I don't know. There's just something that I love about Smeargle, and just that it goes all the way back through like the start of when I was like really involved in Pokemon. What you guys may not know is I actually had a YouTube channel in the Platinum era. I actually uploaded some very few. Like, I think it was about like 15 or 20 videos, not that much. And oh my god, it was so edgy, and looking back, I cringe a little bit. I used only metal as the background music. It was really bad. It was really funny, but I'm gonna link it anyway. But that's where the whole Smeargle, it was just really like I had an intro of me using like my intro video, which I don't use intros anymore for some reason. But the intro video that I had was a Smeargle. And yeah, so that's that. But Scizor was featured in the first video that I ever uploaded on this channel, so that's pretty sweet. I really like his design, but even more so, the two major tournaments that I went to. I went to three, but the two major tournaments that I went to, I used Scizor. Scizor was in my team. So the first one I went to was a smaller tournament, Premier Challenge. And I think it was like maybe like somewhere between 30 and 40 people there. So it was small, but I made top cut. I was in the top, 10 or 7 or 8, somewhere there. I placed 7th out of the entire tournament, which was really sweet. I know it wasn't the top 7. I think it was top 8 or 10, one of those two, because I know I wasn't dead last in top cut. I was second to last, or like 4th to last or something. I don't remember, but Scizor was on that team. I actually have a few videos from that tournament. I'll try and find them to upload them, or to link them in the description below so you can see them. But I did place 7th, and that was like the highest I've ever placed in any tournament. There was a lot of really good players there. I got knocked out by like probably one of the best players in the region right now, or at that time, and it was such a really awesome experience. I also got to play on stream against X-Rays Ovation, who's a really good friend of mine, and it really sucked, but it was a really good experience. So Scizor was on that team, but even better of an experience, I went to the Philly regionals in 2015. Yeah, it had to be 2015 because Cresselia was on my team. I went to the Philly regionals, and I didn't make top cut there. I didn't even make the top 50, but there was somewhere between 300 and 400 people participating in the Masters division at that tournament, and I placed like 88th. And that doesn't sound like that good off the top of your head, but then you're like, I placed 88th out of like 350 people. That's pretty impressive. You know, I'm pretty proud of that accomplishment. That's pretty awesome. And again, Scizor was on that team. Could I have chosen other Pokemon from that team? Yeah, I mean, I had a Goodra, I had a Rotom Heat, I had a Cresselia, I had a Kangaskhan, and I can't think of the fifth one. I don't remember who the fifth one was. Aromatisse. I don't know Aromatisse. But out of all of those, I really like Scizor's design the best. And not only that, there's the connection to like the first battle ever uploaded. The first video ever uploaded on this channel features Scizor pretty prominently. So I was like, you know what? I love it. I'm going to go with it. So the last two are kind of not as important as the other four, because like the other four have like distinct connections to different parts of my Pokemon experiences. But the next one's Ferrothorn. Now Ferrothorn, I've lovingly dubbed the janitor, because he just comes through for me in everything. Every battle where I need to rely on Ferrothorn, I win, because Ferrothorn's the best. Again, Ferrothorn was one of the Pokemon that I brought to a tournament. My first ever tournament that I went to had a Ferrothorn on the team, and most of my wins from that tournament was because of Ferrothorn. Now, I kind of have some negative feelings about that tournament, which is a little unfortunate. I hold a little bit of resentment towards someone that I went with, but for the first tournament, you know, it went pretty well. I didn't really place very well. I placed maybe like 170th out of like 250. I didn't really do that well, but I don't know. I just really like Ferrothorn, and every time I use Ferrothorn, I always try and fit a Ferrothorn onto my team, because I just love Ferrothorn. He really works well, and all that jazz. So it's like competitive, a little bit of personal, you know, whatever. I don't know. And then finally, we've got Druddigon. Now, Druddigon, I didn't know what to put in my sixth slot. I was like, you know what, maybe I'll just go with 5 Pokemon, because I think that covers it pretty well. But every time I was like, well, what about a 6th? I just got pinged in my brain, Druddigon. I don't know what it is about Druddigon. Back in 5th gen, he was my least favorite Pokemon. I think he was the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I hated it so much. I was like, why would anyone want to use this Pokemon? But then the transition from 2D art to 3D art, something clicked, and I just got the Druddigon design. I was like, I really like this. I really like this a lot. And he's my #1 favorite dragon type. He's probably one of my favorite Trick Room sweepers in the entire game. Sans maybe like Marowak and Mega Camerupt, but I just love him. There's no personal reason. There's no other reason other than I just absolutely adore his design. I love that he's just like red and blue and no mixture. It's just red, blue, done. I love how bizarre it is. It doesn't even have to make sense. So yeah, that's the team. I mean, there's some personal stuff, but so this is a Trick Room team. This is Gengar and Smeargle are my Trick Room setters. They're pretty good Trick Room setters. They may not seem like good ones, but I thoroughly enjoy them as Trick Room setters. Shuckle's there just for moral support, because let's be real here, he's never going to be brought to battle, but hey, whoever knows. Scizor and Druddigon are obviously going to be my sweepers, and Ferrothorn's there as the, guess what, the janitor. So you know what, I think, screw it, I'm gonna make this as a team. We're gonna bring this on to Battle Spot as well, because I think I can make this work. The Gengar fast option doesn't really work when I don't have a fast option, but we'll see. I think we can do it. So that's about it. Now I have to tag some people, and unfortunately for me, tagging people is very hard, because pretty much everyone that I would tag basically doesn't upload anymore. But we're gonna try. So I'm gonna tag Juan. We're gonna tag Juancito Marvel, because he still kind of uploads and he's still into Pokemon. I think he'll get a kick out of this. I'm gonna tag X-Ray's Ovation, of course, because not only did I mention him in this video a couple of times, I'm hoping that by getting him to upload this, he will continue to upload, because he was one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. I love that guy. So I want to get him to upload some more. So there's that. And then I think the last one I'm going to upload is probably going to be a little bit different. I don't know if he's changed his name, but it's going to be Sucker for Jessica. I met him at PAX. I think it was 2015 or 2014. I don't know. I met him at PAX, and he's such a great guy. He's gotten back to uploading, and I watched a couple of his videos recently, and I really enjoy it. So I think he'll get a kick out of this as well. So I'm going to tag those three, and either way, you know, thanks again to Miss Fushi for tagging me. I really do enjoy these kinds of videos, and I hope to catch you guys at the next one. Peace.